You think Andre Ward wants to keep the band together for the Warriors? Because I know he's a big Warrior fan. I've seen him on your telecast.
I don't know, but let's talk to the SLG, new member of the Bay Area Sports Hall of Fame, first ballot International Boxing Hall of Famer. He's been in two great classes when it comes to the Hall of Fame. Yesterday, Patrick Willis, Buster Posey, Julie Foudy, Gary Payton, of course, Oakland's own Andre Ward, the super middleweight champ, light heavyweight champ, 32 fights, 32 wins. But I told Andre yesterday, and I say good morning to Andre. Thanks for joining us today on the Morning Roast. I told Andre yesterday to his face, you may be a better broadcaster than a boxer. You're a great boxer. But I love the hell out of Andre on ESPN Boxing, man. Andre, good morning, my brother. Congratulations again yesterday, man. What an honor. Your wife, Tiffany, gave a great presentation. Wow. Spoke highly of you. It was really cool.
Man, I am. First of all, I'm happy to be on, Bonte. Appreciate you guys having me, man. It was my wife stole the show. That girl almost had me shedding a tear, with her speech and the way she spoke about me. And I was a kid in a candy store, man, just being around Bonds and Will Clark and Brian Shaw and the induction class, Posey, and just everybody, GP. Like for me, and I said this on stage last night, I know I'm getting inducted, but to be around those greats like that, especially Bay Area greats, I couldn't ask for anything more.
Andre, take me back to the beginning of your love of the sport of boxing and where it all began for you. Because, I was out at West Sunset yesterday throwing the ball around with a bunch of 12-year-old kids trying to play baseball. And maybe one day one of these kids goes on to the next level and plays high school or college or whatever. I mean, you went to the grandest of stages, right? So take us to the humble beginning.
But that's where it starts, It starts with throwing a ball, baseball, football. It starts with taking a kid to the gym. I mean, my first love was baseball.
Really?
Pitching a shortstop, and I played because my dad played. But then he started, sharing with me that he boxed as an amateur. I was like, wait, what? And that just something got my attention. And when we went to the gym, and I saw that ring, and I saw the gym setup, it was like love at first sight. Now, the sport didn't love me back right away. I was in there a year before I kind of got my footing, and my dad started to say, okay, maybe he can do this. But it just kind of took off from there. And, but the seed for him was just my dad just sharing with me that he did it and taking me to that gym. And I already had the drive and the competitiveness, and it was the perfect marriage.
Yeah, shout out to Frank Ward, man. Your father, you spoke about him last night. Andre was talking about him mimicking Will Clark, Will the Thrill.
That's
and, of course,
awesome.
Barry Bonds choking up. And you're a student of the game and a student of all sports. That's what's so impressive about you, Dre. You touch on everything, football, basketball, baseball. You're a student of the game. And so when we talk about the Warriors here, and I don't want to divert from that, but they got some Hall of Famers right now. And the way you watch them and the way you pick up on things. I remember back in the day, you probably don't even remember this, you're talking about how you studied Kobe Bryant, they're great ones. Where did that come from? Because not everybody can do that. Like, you looked at the mama and you talked about how you picked up on Kobe's intensity, and we see you brought that into the ring, which led you to the Hall of Fame.
I think a lot of it was innate. I was always, and you're going to see this when you watch my documentary and read the book that's coming out later this year, early top of next year.
Documentary June 2nd, right? Real quick, Dre, June 2nd, Showtime, right?
Yes, sir.
Yep. Mm-hmm. There you go.
Yeah, the older folks, my parents and grandparents, they all used to look at me and say, he's watching. He's always watchful. He's always looking. I've always learned through just watching and processing, man. My mind has always been one of my greatest assets. And then you just add a sport, and I'm, into the equation, and I'm still the same person, but now I'm just studying a sport. So I always, I'm just a thinker, and I love to, think 2-3 steps up ahead. And, I kind of live my life the way that I box in that ring. So I've just always been like that. I really enjoy that. I approach broadcasting like that. I approach investing like that. I approach business like that. That's just my makeup, man. And that's just the way that I am.
When was the moment in your life or in your career where you turned around, you could actually smell the roses, and you're like, damn, I'm here, at this particular point. I never thought I would be here. What was that maybe, surreal moment for you?
I feel like the first time in my 23-year career, amateur and pro, that I was able to do that was when I got the call from Ed Brophy from the International Boxing Hall of Fame.
Wow.
When I finally got that call that I was inducted as a first ballot Hall of Famer, I believe I told him, I can finally rest now. And, even as a kid, I would go to tournaments for a week long. I'd miss school, go to tournaments, and we get home and I win the Nationals, and it would be like, all right, we're going to enjoy this for a few days, and we got to get ready for the next one. That's just always been the mindset. And even as a professional, whether you have a fight coming up or not, it's always that the preparation and the grind is always kind of breathing down your neck if you want to be elite and stay that way. And it wasn't until I got that call that I was able to sort of take a deep exhale. And I mean, even to this day, going to the Hall of Fame last night, and when I went to the International Boxing Hall of Fame, I have to be intentional about enjoying the moment, allowing myself to take it all in, because I still kind of got that thing in me that's like, all right, we're here, but let's think about what's next. So I'm learning, right? I'm 39 now, so I'm trying to slow down a little bit and just take it all in and enjoy the moment.
Well, you're doing a hell of a job on ESPN, of course, and you were on at International Boxing Hall of Fame. I watched all those speeches. You, Mayweather, Bernard Hopkins was up there, Roy Jones Jr. was up there. I mean, that class was loaded. Juan Manuel Marquez and Wolf. I mean, I was like, wow. I had to watch the whole thing, man. It almost put me to tears watching all you legends get inducted at once there. No joke, Andre, because you guys were all great, especially you. And then last night watching you and Posey and all you guys interact, it's like, wow, this is a special class. Now, we know we have a special basketball team, so I want to get into that because you love your hoops. You love your Warriors. How do you feel about the Warriors the way the season ended, and how do you feel about the Warriors moving forward?
And this is sports at the highest level, and I kind of suffered from what the Warriors suffer from. You make it look easy, so when you don't do it, or it doesn't, you have a year like they just had, which was a great year based on general standards, but based on their standards of winning championships, they came up short. But you make it look easy, and people expect you not to be human. People expect you never to lose. And I mean, I didn't lose as a professional, but I've lost as an amateur, and I've had, rough moments as a pro. So I don't look down on them. It's extremely hard, and I only know from where I sit. But, from what I know and from what I hear and from what I study to a lot of things got to go right for you to win an NBA championship. And they had some internal issues they had to deal with, injuries, and just, things Clay had to deal with. And 1 minute, this player's hot, and the next minute they're cold. Like, things got to fall into place. But the way they battled was inspiring, and I really watched Draymond Green a lot this year, and I appreciate how, he made a mistake, he owned it, he shouldered it, and man, he's the heartbeat of that team. And I really watched him throughout these different series, and I just saw all the little nuanced things that he did, the way that he hustled, the way that he rebounded, the way that he put his teammates in position. Like, I don't think Draymond gets enough credit. I mean, I think in the Bay we definitely shout him out, but nationally, man, Draymond is the heartbeat of this team, man, and it was just impressive watching him sort of be the cleanup man and doing whatever he needed to do to get the job done.
That is interesting because when I think of you and I think of Draymond Green, we see the podcast and we see the barking, and you weren't about that trash talk life. Like, you would just say what you said, and you had that serious look on your face. Well, Draymond is going to let you know how he feels. He's going to guarantee things. So that's very interesting because you guys are different in that aspect, right?
Yeah, we may be different, at first glance, but I kind of had sneaky trash talk.
Yeah.
Like, I wasn't gonna start it, but I was gonna finish it. I'm gonna have that quip or that line that's gonna be like, oh man, he kind of shut you down. That's just kind of my flow,
Yep.
But I appreciate what Draymond does, and listen, athletes, whether people like it or not, they have a voice, and with all the many platforms out there, we're gonna use them. And you may not like the message, but you don't have to tune in. And I appreciate the Draymonds of the world and many others that are willing to step up and speak out, even though they know that some are going to be with me, some are not. Some are going to have something to say. Some are going to rock with me. People don't realize this stuff, the stuff that athletes at the highest level have to deal with. They kind of think because they got a big contract and, he's a celebrity that he doesn't have feelings. Man, dude's got to shoulder stuff. But the way he shoulders it, but yet still speaks his mind and then goes out there and backs it up, it's impressive.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, you're impressive, Andre. Your career was impressive. You're impressive as a broadcaster. We got some big fights coming up, man. Some huge fights. I know Haney just survived against Lomachenko. Action-packed fight, high-level fight at the 135 weight class. You got Shakur Stevenson sitting in the cut. You got Tank Davis, and then we get Errol Spence against Terrence Crawford finally.
Yes.
So we'll catch up with you. We got to do this a lot, man, because your insights on whether it's football, basketball, baseball, and even the sport of boxing, of course, man, you're insightful as heck. So congratulations again, International Boxing Hall of Fame, but more importantly, the Bay Area Sports Hall of Fame. It was great to see you last night, Dre.
Thank you, my brother. I appreciate you guys having me.
Anytime.
stuff.
Andre Ward, SOG, son of God there, 32 fights, 32 wins.